The dream team is back after a couple of weeks of me being here, there, and everywhere, and then Johnny gallivanting as well. We thought, let's get the dream team back together, and here we are for a stream of your very favourite AM series here at oNiD. Welcome along to Thursday nights. It is the oNiD SimHound Amateur Series. My name's Adam Ely, and joining me is the man, the legend, the founder, the owner, the king, the god. And that's where I shall stop saying nice things about Johnny Ashley.
I can't get used to your name change.
No. I was going to say neither can I, but of course I can because it's my actual name. So.
Yeah, it is your actual name. But yeah, we are back and I'm very excited. There's a few things we're going to talk about, isn't there? There's a few things going on in oNiD, a few things going on in the sim racing world, and then we'll get to the AM series. These guys are out practicing at the minute. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's been a few weeks. Had a nice little break with the family, had a good holiday, so I'm back firing.
Did you get a suntan?
No, not really. Yarmouth was a bit grey some days.
Well, still, it was nice to have a break. Nice to spend some time with the family. Good to have you back. And yeah, I've just generally been off doing crazy things or family things or stuff like that. So nice to have the dream team back together. But as you say, what we tend to do is we have a bit of an oNiD Arms style chat with some cars going around in the background to start us off. And then we pick up sort of qualifying and the race and everything live and bring you some commentary on that. So I guess, should we start in-house with oNiD stuff? What's going on?
I suppose the biggest thing going on at the minute is the Jimmy relaunch this week. We are relaunching the Jimmy Broadbent event. We're starting tomorrow with the way we only could in the Jimmy Broadbent side of things is with a multi-class 2.4 hour race around Silverstone. It is going to be streamed as well. The fantastic Aidan Howard's on the comms, and I'm going to be featured driver and knocking around on stream as well. And then we move to AC next Wednesday for that launch event where we're going to be running two of Jimmy's actual cars, so the Praga R1 and the Mazda MX-5, 90 minutes, which is going to be awesome. And again, it's going to be streamed as well. I'm going to be streaming that one and looking forward to that one. I think ACC's, but there's about 50 teams signed up for that one, and the AC event is full with 22 drivers. So yeah, really looking forward to that event. So I'm looking forward to getting back on the Jimmy side of things. And there is some more announcements regarding the Jimmy Broadbent side with events coming up very soon as well. So yeah, looking forward to that. It's going to be good to have a fresh relaunch, a new season, as we might call it, as what all these gaming companies are doing nowadays, having new seasons and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to that one.
What's wrong with using seasons as a terminology? What's wrong with that?
Oh, you know what I mean. It's every game seems to have a season now. Do you know what I mean? You look at Fortnite and Apex Legends, they have a season every 2 months. So, but it's good to have a relaunch and have a shake things up a little bit. And people might have seen a few changes in the Discord as well. And we've obviously it is being run overseen by me. But we do have a Jimmy Broadbent Discord manager and event manager, which is Ben Myatt, our very own Mr. Benderama.
Nice. Ben's a great guy. I've been really enjoying jumping in some of the Monday night mini action on AC that obviously Ben's heavily involved in and runs a tight ship there. So we'll expect nothing less on the Jimmy side. And yeah, great to get that relaunch kicking off. And you know, it kind of allows for that extra outlet of racing and different types of racing to be tried as well. And like you say, you couldn't start anywhere apart from a 2.4 hour multi-class, really, could you?
No, they were so successful in the last season, as we should call it. Everyone seemed to enjoy it, and it brings a little bit of challenge to 2.4 hour racing as well. And it wouldn't be an oNiD race without a little bit of weather knocking around tomorrow as well. So yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to having it streamed as well. And Unfortunately, I couldn't get Jimmy involved in that one, but he'll be about, I'm sure, at some point. I know he's very, very busy with Nürburgring stuff, so it's just good
Which is kind of cool to see.
It's very cool.
It's lovely catching up on those videos and seeing what he's up to. So good on you, Jimmy. Keep it up. Did you see the one the other day where he took his missus around the track?
I did, yes. Yeah, brilliant. I can only imagine what the seat was like after. I can imagine it was quite scary going around. I've never been in a race car at full chat, so I'm pretty sure it's quite scary.
Yeah, I'm sure it is as well. Right, so anything else going on in the world of oNiD that we should touch on?
Well, obviously, we've seen all the changes with SGP. Sorry, Adam.
What do you mean?
And we're not here to talk about, obviously, we will talk about the SGP changes, because I think it's a prime opportunity for you to say some bits. But that will come in the real, the outside of oNiD kind of things. But we are changing a few things up. Obviously, people and drivers will have seen that we've started using the ranking system a bit more. Especially we reduce the amount of drivers in some of the championships as well, to try and focus on that ranking system and get nice even splits. And I think it's been working really well. We're going to try some multi-split events, which is one of the new features that has come to SGP, which is great. And yeah, so we're taking a little. We're not doing a massive overhaul of things straight away, but we're bringing in new features as they're coming, and doing what's best for the drivers in oNiD as well. So it's without a doubt that SGP is the easiest platform to use out there, and obviously the automation of the servers and stuff is fantastic. So it's what we can do to now take the tools that SGP and yourselves, Adam, have given out to the communities and how we make it work for us. So there will be a few changes over the next few weeks. There is a very special end of year championship coming to Sundays, which some guys will have already seen some hints and some polls going up about what people would like to see. So we are going to run what is going to be our biggest championship to date on a Sunday. Obviously, we're still only just got past the halfway mark in the Sunday championships as it is. Still got 3 rounds to go in that one, but we are looking at bringing something very big. It will be likely 12 rounds, Adam. 12 rounds.
It's one of those risky things to do, isn't it? You've kind of been there before, and sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't. It's it's risky.
It's very risky, and I've seen it work in other communities, and I've seen it work in certain formats. We've tried it with a long one. Obviously, we've done 8 rounds this time around with multi-class, and it seems to be working. We're getting good numbers attend every week. And previously, when we've tried longer rounds, we weren't as big, and we didn't have as many drivers. So I think we're going to focus it solely on GT3, which seems to be the big draw on a Sunday. Obviously, we fill splits up very, very quickly. It is going to be one split, so there is only going to be 50 spots available, and it is going to be 12 rounds. And the idea is to get invites will go out first for this championship to the guys that have raced with us lots. You know, the guys that have stuck it out with us from day dot, and get a lot of them people in. There is 50 grid spots available. I'm not saying how many driver spots there are available. But yeah, we are looking at something a bit different, a different format, GT3 based. That's as much as I'm going to give away for the time being. There's a lot of hints in there, but it's something we're looking forward to. As me and Matt and Rob and Julian on Sunday, we're looking forward to getting this together and seeing how it works. And it'll be a nice way to finish the year, because funny enough, we're only by the time this current season on a Sunday finishes, we're in September.
I know.
It's ridiculous that we're in, getting to September. So it'd be a nice way to kind of. We're going to have that September to December, as you know, Adam, is prime months for sim racing because the summer's kind of over. and people are indoors a bit more. So we're going to have this big championship that's going to be running on a Sunday, and we're going to have obviously Tuesdays are where we like to change things up a little bit on ACC. And I'm not ruling out. Obviously, we've got RS Mondays as well. And I'm not ruling out something different coming in the future as well to keep all them drivers interested, and we'll stagger start things to make sure all the drivers that want to race ACC have the opportunity to do so over the winter months, which will be really, really cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing what all that means, because there's all kinds of hints and tips and drops in there, but some of them I could read between the lines, other ones I'm like, So I think interesting months ahead. On the oNiD front, as always, of course. And good news is Cucumber Bish is in.
Good lad, good lad. It's about time he comes back. I know he's done some rank builder stuff. And obviously we haven't spoke since the rank builder stuff started, have we?
How's it going?
It's going pretty well, actually. The numbers are not, we don't expect the numbers to be massively huge for each event, but it's a good opportunity for guys to come and do some racing, and we ask the guys build their rank up, and not only that, but they need to do that race to get a rank to be able to race in oNiD. They need to do a rank builder. So all the new guys need to go and do that rank builder race. Just one, because it means we can get rid of our evaluation races. In a way that means we can do these longer championships, or we can get more in through the year.
Yeah.
Which is really important, because we want to keep people racing. We don't want to have gaps. I've seen far too many communities do a championship and then leave like 6 weeks gap and then do another one. Then the drivers you had in that season are going to switch off and go elsewhere because they want to race. If you're an avid sim racer, like so many are in oNiD, they want to race all the time. And that's, I know, Adam, you've always been one for don't do too much. But you want to keep people racing, and I don't listen anyway.
You don't, but that's fine, because I'm now the one saying, can we add something else on a Monday, please?
Yes, it's very true. It's very true. And then we've got, obviously, an endurance race coming up, Valencia, in 2 weeks. 6 hours of Valencia. And me and Ben are not running that one.
Then how's it running?
Stevie's running and stewarding. Aidan is in charge of sorting out all things stream, and me and Ben are taking a Hooters liveried Camaro around Valencia for 6 hours.
No, you're not. You're not going to last 6 hours in that.
I love the Camaro. You know me.
A Camaro at... Okay. All right. Let's see.
Give it 2 qualifying laps, and me and Ben are like, we're out.
Any stewards needed?
Yeah. I'll go and do the stream. So yeah, we've got that coming up, and there will be one more before the end of the year as well. Potentially 2. Me and Ben are in talks to do maybe one on the Jimmy side and one on the oNiD side before the year is up. So as Adam's slowly dying. Are you okay there, mate? Oh, look at that big moment from James Russell. We've got the pit entrance all wrong. But here we go. We have got actually some questions in chat, and I think this will lead us nicely to the outside of oNiD things and sim racing world in general and what's coming up. Alex Parkin says, how are you enjoying the new AMS2 update, Adam?
Oh, baby. He's good. He's so good.
See, I can't comment because I've not actually driven it yet.
No way!
No, I haven't. I was away on holiday, and then when I came back, I had so much to sort out, and I've been busy with work, and I've been racing with the ACC stuff. I've just not had a chance to actually sit down one evening. I haven't even done a stream for about 6 weeks, as in my own personal stream.
Yeah, so ladies and gents, just to let you know, tonight's stream is just of the 8-minute race. And then we're going to run off and do some AMS2 by the sounds of it. No, it is good. It is good. There's some stuff that I haven't felt as big a difference as I expected. There's some stuff I feel a big difference in. So, like, for example, the Caterham.
Yes.
I just couldn't drive the Caterham in the past. Just undrivable mess of a car in AMS2. I can drive it now. It's still not going to be my favourite car, but I can actually drive it around the track.
Yeah, I've seen some comments about the cars are not as slidey and not as floaty in some places, and they actually feel a little bit more on rails. Not so much that it's on rails, but it's a little bit more stable, I suppose.
They're a lot more connected to the track. It's a massive difference. So
don't
that's
look in
good.
chat. Don't look in chat.
I've seen it. So that's good, but I think that the big headline for me is that adrenaline pack with the rallycross in there, and it's not just the rallycross. You've got the little cross kart things and the other machine. I can never remember the name of those two things, but like you've got the buggy type thing,
like a dune buggy type thing, isn't it?
Yeah, which is great. And then you've got this like really slow off-roader thing, which is great for kind of learning the off-road stuff, but it doesn't have a handbrake, which is a little bit awkward. But then you step into the RX cars, the rallycross cars, and oh my god, they're fantastic. They've absolutely nailed the off-roading physics. It is so much fun.
Did I see there was a dirt oval on there? Or did I read that's coming?
I think you read that's coming, because there's a second part of the adrenaline pack to come. And I think I saw mentioned that that they're looking at a dirt oval in there. I've still got a sneaky suspicion that at some point there's going to be some kind of big American, not called NASCARs, but NASCARs.
Yeah. Like noise cars or something.
Noise car. Yeah, I like that. No. So so far so good with AMS2. I just need to actually be able to get some racing done in it. But it looks fantastic. Drives fantastic. I love it.
And I think AMS2 will lead us nicely into something I certainly want you to talk about in your role at SGP. And I don't want to push you too hard and expect all the answers. But it'd be nice to have an input on what's going on. Obviously, AMS2 on SGP, we've been doing testing, haven't we, for the guys at SGP, especially for Thomas, who wants to work out what's the issue with SGP and the servers and AMS2. Any update for the guys at Race AMS2 and particularly me, who wants to plan a league?
We're getting there. So we basically, Johnny, it will go as fast as we can schedule test events, really. So
we're doing a test event in a minute.
Well, yeah. So we need, and I think at some point I'm going to have to sort of just hand that bit over to somebody within oNiD, because if we just rely on doing test events when I have availability to do test events, we'll never get anything done.
Yeah.
So if somebody else can kind of arrange them, and I just make sure that Thomas applies the updates to the particular event, then it will move forward even faster. Because basically we've just got this long list of different options to try, and in there's going to be a solution. So the quicker we run through that list of things, the better. But we did make a big breakthrough. I say we. I can't even spell dev, let alone have any idea what they're doing. The dev team have had a big breakthrough. I won't go into the technicals of it, but something that's made a big difference, we think, in how it will actually run. So that's ready to be tested on the next test, I believe.
That's awesome news. Fantastic news for AMS2 fans, and obviously I will get to work on making some test events, because I'm very keen on getting it up and running and getting some championships back, which is what we do absolutely love. And obviously it moves us on to probably the biggest thing that happened in the sim racing world.
Just before we leave that one, actually, just very quickly, because what I will say is, even if we don't manage to find a solution to get AMS2 working full server integration like we do with other games, then there will be a different solution put in place to allow people to organise events on AMS2 on the platform. I won't say anything more than that at the moment, because we're also looking at other options. But there will be a solution in the future,
which is awesome. And it does bring us nicely to probably the biggest news in in the sim racing world in the last kind of week and a half. Is the SGP coming out of beta? It's now a fully fledged app, and obviously I'm not going to go into too much because I'm sure you've had so many questions over the last week. But could you just give the guys who maybe don't know too much about it just a brief overview of what has happened to SGP?
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we're always happy to keep answering questions on it, because we want to make sure that everyone gets what we're doing and why we're doing it and everything like that. I think the biggest thing for us internally was that we're no longer in beta, so it feels like a big milestone in our development and our progress to actually exit beta. And what that meant was it was about packaging together a number of updates all together. And also in that, yes, we are rolling out payment plans for both drivers and communities. But one thing I will say right at the very top is it will always remain free to race on SGP.
And I actually want to back you up on that. I've had a lot of questions of this myself, and as a community owner, what I will say is exactly what Adam says. SGP is still free to race, which is awesome. It's not anything like iRacing. It wouldn't expect it to be, and it's not like any other platform out there. It is free to race, so nothing's going to change from an oNiD point of view, and from you guys racing with us and SGP and all the other communities that you guys are racing.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, let's cover that stuff first, and then I'll talk about some of the things that we've rolled out to communities, because SGP has been there in some way, shape, or form for best part of 3 years. It's probably about 2.5 years that oNiD have been on there since it really went from alpha into beta. Is that about right, do you think?
I think it went live it went into beta in the April 21, and our first event was the May 21, if I remember rightly.
Yes, that sounds about right. So, yeah, either way, that's sort of 2 years, 4 months, something like that. And in that time, we haven't charged anyone or any community a single penny. Over 11.5 million laps have been turned on SGP in the beta phase. And every single one of those has cost SGP money, because we pay to develop the site, the infrastructure. We pay AWS for all the server time. We have to pay certain licenses and everything like that. Plus, we've got staff to pay. So all the way through, we have said that once we exit beta, there is going to have to be some kind of payment option for a community, in the same way that if a community decided to run their own servers through Emperor servers or something like that, they would have to pay for those servers. So there was always going to be a time where we had to switch to a paid model. But we've left it as long as we could. We certainly didn't want to bring it in too soon. And we've spent about 6 months researching, developing, building the model that we have. And the idea is that we kind of wanted to get it to the point where if drivers can afford to pay and they want to pay, then they can pay. But we always want it to be free for drivers. From a community point of view, yes, there are paid models, but it's not just a simple a community pays a certain amount of money, because what we wanted to be able to do was make it possible for the drivers to use their driver plans to pay for the communities that they race in. So we actually believe that the majority of communities won't pay a penny for using SGP, because their drivers will actually fund it through our fuel system. and the fuel system is basically so if you're just going on there to demo the platform to see what it does and how to build races and things like that, then you don't need any fuel in your tank as a community to do that. You won't be able to launch any races, but you can go in and have a look at everything, set your community up and everything like that, and test it all out. And then there's two other stages, which is half tank and full fuel. And of course, what I should have done is mentioned that the empty tank is not actually called empty tank; it's called low fuel, because we just thought it'd be nice to call something low fuel. And then obviously, like the full one is where like 16 fuel have been contributed to the community by the drivers, or the community have gone and bought some fuel for themselves. So it's one of those things that when you put it down in writing, it looks really complicated, and you end up doing a lot of head scratching and people going, I don't get it, or it looks like this, or it looks like that. But it's one of those things that in practice will actually be really straightforward and make a lot of sense. So I think to a certain extent, we need to let it launch and see how much people understand it then and see the reality of things. But we will always listen to feedback, and you know, if we need to make changes in the future, then great. But the long and the short of it is we need to start paying to keep the lights on at SGP, because you know, otherwise there is no SGP if there's no income. And of course we've got like commercial partnerships that we do and stuff like that, but you know, you need a certain amount of recurring income that's predictable. But we've actually been really conservative with it. So we actually only expect that maybe 5 to 10% of drivers will pick up some kind of driver plan, and the majority will stay on free. And that's our expectation. So if people think that we're just expecting everyone to pay to use SGP, then we're not. And I've probably massively overshared, and I hope that Thomas isn't listening to this.
Well, obviously I don't want you to go on too much about it, because obviously tonight is your owned space, so it's your chill, your wind down, your without your work stuff. But what I will say from a community point of view and community owner point of view is Adam is absolutely right. If any other community managers are listening to this is from me, from a community owner standpoint.
You know, before you say that, let me just say, Johnny has pushed hard in conversations with me to understand this himself, and you know, Johnny is at no point just going, yeah, whatever SGP tell me, I'll crack on with it. He has drilled me and questioned me as hard as anyone else out there, and please don't clip that, because I've just realised what that sounded like. But you know, so Johnny has made sure that he fully understands this, and yes. And has So sorry, carry on.
Absolutely, you know, I'm not paid by SGP. I'm not told to say anything. This is from me, and like Adam says, I've absolutely drilled him and Thomas and Dan for the last week to really understand it and make sure I know where everyone's at. So if anyone in my community does have questions, feel free to go to the Ask the Community channel that I'll set up, and I'll answer as much as I can. Not just about SGP. If there is anything else that you need, just give me a shout. oNiD related as well. But I will say that looking at the price plans for drivers, yes, it's up to you entirely if you want to pay for that to help a community. That's absolutely fine. From a community owner point of view, I think it's roughly, Adam, you might be able to tell me more on this. It's about between £26 and £30 to get a full tank a month to be able to run your races as you are at the minute. So nothing changes for a community standpoint. It's roughly around that amount. Now, I did some research into this, and I went and had a look at Emperor servers and how much it would cost for me to run all the servers I want to run. It would cost me around, I think it was about, don't quote me on it, it was about £60 to £75 a month just to run all the servers that we wanted. So that is AC servers, Raceroom servers, you know, ACC servers, all the practice servers, everything we wanted was roughly around £75 a month. So for almost, a quarter of the cost, you're getting all the automation that SGP is put on there already, and everything that's to come. Obviously, I am in a situation where I have got these things in place with SGP, so I do know some things that are coming. And all I will say is that, honestly, guys, this is awesome. Like, for the money it costs, and like Adam says, if your drivers are supporting your community, it's amazing. You don't have to worry about it in oNiD. I've got it covered. It's not a problem. I'm never ever gonna ask my drivers to fuel our community. I've got that covered. But if there is other communities out there you want to go and support them, because the more racing communities there are, the more you guys get to race, and for the price of it, it's an absolute steal. And with all lots of features to come, it'll only get better and better. It only came out of beta last week.
Yeah, and as part of coming out of beta, and you would have thought by now I'd work out whether I'd say it beta or beta, but I keep switching between the two. But yeah, we only exited last week, but what we did on the exit day is, as Johnny mentioned earlier, we rolled out the splitting tool for communities, which then includes the automatic splitting as well, which is based on SGP rank, and then we also added in the capability to run daily races as well. So that's quite a cool thing for a community to do. Is because obviously you could go and set up daily racing now by just sitting there and programming in lots of different events, but this tool will allow you to actually use a spreadsheet to lay out all of the racing that you want and upload it, and it just goes boom, and creates all of the races for you from a spreadsheet. It's amazing. So that allows communities to create daily racing and things like that. And the idea is that it's designed to be a toolbox that communities can use to take on the biggest folk in sim racing, because we're not going to do that. We just want to make it possible for our communities to do it, and we've kind of refocused what we're doing in that sense to make sure that everything is about community. Obviously, we'll always have our commercial partners and what we do there, because if we didn't, then I wouldn't have a job. Yeah, I think it's exciting times. We're really nervous as well. Yeah, everyone's been given a free month, from coming out of beta. We're nervous to see what happens. We are nervous that some people won't get it in the way that others do. It was a pretty hard week last week, making these announcements, and some people didn't get it or took it completely the wrong way, or had certain things to say. So it was a brutal week last week, but at the same time, we're really proud of everything that the team has achieved, both the current team and obviously people that have departed. It's nice to no longer see beta at the start of the name.
Take your SGP hat off now. Thank you for that. Take your SGP out. I didn't want to put you on the spot, but you've helped. You've always been a part of oNiD, and I knew coming from me, they'll take it. But just coming from someone at SGP, obviously the community knows more, and we do appreciate you putting your SGP hat on for that 10 minutes of conversation. I think that was really important. I just will want to say one thing. Cucumber Bush has just donated basically 3 months worth of full tanks to oNiD.
Wow.
So probably more than that, if roughly about 4 months. So thank you very much, Cucumber Bush. £100. He's just donated £100, which is absolutely incredible, and we do really appreciate you, dude. That's awesome, and it's because of drivers like that we can carry on going the way we do. So thank you very much.
One thing I did forget, because if I kind of sounded a little bit silent a few minutes ago, it's because Claire walked in with a bowl of chips for me with cheese on.
Nice!
I got ever so slightly distracted.
Nice.
But you mentioned about how much things cost for full tank, and I know it all sounded a little bit vague and we didn't give you an actual number. That's because the system shows you the price excluding VAT. Reason for this, before anyone jumps down my throat,
it's illegal.
The VAT is different in every territory.
Absolutely.
And we use a payment partner called Paddle, who they calculate the VAT, they charge the VAT, they have all of the in-country registrations to be able to do so. What that means for you guys is that when you click on the subscribe button, it will then show you how much it will be in your local currency with local VAT. And that is before you choose to make any progress or any purchase. So you click that button and then it will show you your total price. But most of you will know it anyway. So, you know, when you see a price, if you're in the UK, you whack 20% on it and you know that that's going to be the price including VAT, you know, so it's nothing hidden, nothing sacred there. It's just, to comply with global VAT legislations and blah, 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 blah.
So
shut up, Ben.
Take your hat off now, dude. We do.
I've put on my boardy swimming cap instead.
We appreciate you absolutely, and thank you on behalf of me and the whole community for going through that. I'm sure that's put a few people's mind at ease about what they need to do and where SGP is going, which is fantastic. Quickly, we've got about 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes or so just before now. I want to get into qualifying because these guys are out doing qualifying at the minute. There's something I do want to touch on. And it is sim racing related. Obviously, there is on Steam. There's just 2 things I want to go through quickly. On Steam, go and add to your wish list Le Mans Ultimate coming out in December. Looks amazing. I love me some World Endurance Championship racing, LMP2s. You know, lots of different things. Not just GT racing. There's no GT racing. Well, there is a bit of GT racing in it. Yeah. Obviously, one of the classes, but a lot of hypercars. And everything coming to that. So if you haven't already, go on Steam, hit the add to wish list. It will be coming to oNiD, unless it's completely broken. But we hope it's not. It is coming to oNiD. We will be. Me and Ben have already been playing things through our heads and getting some ideas down. It will be coming. So another thing.
Let's just hope that this isn't like a previous motorsport games debacle where for about a year I was saying BTCC game is coming to oNiD, and then it never did.
No, Le Mans Ultimate, go and search it on Steam, hit that wish list, and hopefully it will come, which will be really, really good. And also, one last thing, something that I'm doing a lot of testing on this new game when it comes out. If it works the way I want it to, and there's a good amount of race cars on it, Forza 7 will be coming to oNiD as well. Something I'm looking at, or the Forza Motorsport game, I think it's called. I think it's Forza 8, isn't it, actually? But Forza Motorsport, the new one, if it's got a good amount of race cars on there and the online works well and there's all the capabilities that you can do in sim racing, it will be coming to oNiD. I will definitely be trying to run some championships on it, which will be really fantastic. And it's been a long time since we've seen a Forza game, so looking forward to seeing that one.
I'm eating my chips and cheese.
Oh, he's eating fucking chips, of course.
She's whacked salad cream on it as well.
That's sacrilege. Get out.
She couldn't find the ketchup.
Divorce her. Even worse. Divorce her immediately.
We're not married, so that's fine.
We'll dump her immediately. Don't tell her I said that. She will hurt me.
Yeah, she will.
She will absolutely hurt me. So, shall we go and have a look at who is where in qualifying, as we just see Max Farrell have a good accident?
Yeah, we've got a AAA situation at the top.
We have. We've got Artem Udod in first. His best is a 1:36.1. Not a bad time at Zandvoort, is it?
Way faster than us.
Rah. Do you just want me to run through the order for a bit while you eat your chips?
Yeah.
So we have Artem Udod then, who's currently your pole sitting man with a 1:36.1. Then we have Thaber, who's been knocking around the AM series for a little bit, up in second with a 36.7. So good stuff from him. Seen him knock around a few times, so great for him. Alex Nottingham Parkin is currently up in third. With a 36.8, but it's good to see a coach slash admin getting involved in the racing, and it's not one of us for once. So Alex doing a great job up in third. Then we've got Grant then up in fourth with a 36.9, very close between second, third and fourth in that Ferrari. Ferrari's dominating the top four as well with 3 out of the 4 cars. We've got Gerald then in fifth in the McLaren. Now I'm racing the McLaren at the weekend. Bruh.
You're doing what?
Bruh. Bleh. So basically what's happened, oNiD Racing, we're entering the RCI World Tour.
Nice.
But none of the drivers that are actually racing the series are available for round 1. So me and Matt Guja-Scott have kindly stepped in, done pre-qualifying and stepped in for round 1 at Valencia in the McLaren. Oh. And do you know what the worst thing about it is? I'm having to learn Valencia with no racing line.
Because it's not allowed in RCI.
Yep.
That's weak. That's weak.
So I'm having to absolutely relearn because I am a absolute nerd when it comes to these things when I use racing line, because I have no time to practice and I have lots of time to run things for you guys.
Also, right, it's also fair to say that you run it for. It's almost like a bit of. Comfort's not the right word, but it's
a
like
fail-safe. Yes.
Yeah, there we go. How did we come up with the same random word at the same time?
Yes, it is absolutely a fail-safe. I can honestly say I generally don't actually use it, so to speak. It's more that it's just there, and I kind of use it as braking. Instead of using braking markers, I use it for braking. That's pretty much it. If it had a braking bit only, like some games do, I would only use the braking bit because I don't need it for the full track, if you know what I mean.
You mean you don't need it to tell you to go straight in a straight line?
No, exactly.
Are you sure?
Maybe. Depends how many drinks I've had.
Dear. I finished my chips, by the way.
You finished your chips. Do you want to do some commentary now?
Yeah, we've got some stuff on track, and this is the Wacker, Chris Wacker, in fact. So top of the beginner class right now in what is quite a nice, attractive Hammer livery. Now, I was thinking that was an in-game livery, but it's not, is it? And the way I can tell is it's got a nice SGP logo running along the bottom, but. That's quite a nicely put together livery, isn't it?
It is a nice livery. I love the subtleness of it as well. It's very, very nice. And Chris Wacker currently leading the beginner class as well, up in 6th, so doing a grand job. Just noticed we've got a little bit of lag issues. Now, I'm sure that's not from my connection.
Well, we have seen a few cars
just
doing it.
Yeah.
Which would suggest that it's probably you rather than anything. Well, unless it's the server, which would be slightly embarrassing. Yeah, because most cars' ping looks okay, apart from Conradi, which I'm sure that's not how it's said, but it just sounded funny in my head. But yeah, there's definitely a little bit of pingy going on as a bunch of cars now return to the pits. So it remains UDOD, Grant, Giroud, Thebar, and Parkin as your top 5. Then you've got Wacker, Seema, Russell, Dealerman, and Merouani. Then Torn, Farrell, Conradi, Caruana, Harrington, Dora Biala, Kineto, Page, Bayliss, and Chowdhury. And you've now got Sam Page doing laggy things as well. So, okay, so apparently it may be the server.
Yeah, I'm just doing a speed test. My speed's okay, my ping's okay, and my upload's okay. And I'm not having any drop frames, so it suggests it's not my internet.
Yeah, so it looks like it may be the server that's a little bit fruity at the minute. Yeah, so Mr. Blimblom has just shared some stats, and yeah, server ping's at 204 at the moment. So
I'm gonna say my upload's currently at 100, so yeah, can't be me.
Go off.
Me show off never.
Yeah, hopefully that's going to settle down a little bit. Hopefully it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But yeah, Josh Wick's already predicting a laggy turn 1 chaos. Was Josh Wick's the higher state of consciousness?
Pass?
I have a feeling it was, but obviously he's listed as Joshua there, and I've just very rudely immediately called you Josh, which is very rude of me, but is it Josh Wick's?
Are you thinking of not the exercise guy, are you?
Oh, no. I'm talking about a song.
Oh, no, don't know.
State of consciousness. Oh, Josh Wink. No, that's not the same thing. Carry on, Johnny.
Oh, dear. I'm just wondering whether it's Comrade's connection that's causing a little bit of ping issues. He's got very high ping, but he's going round, currently sitting in 6th. Doing a great job with 137.3. I'll tell you what, I'd have a job to hit some of these times.
Oh, I'd get nowhere near them. I'd be sat about 17th right now, probably. Well, actually, no, probably even lower, because Sam keeps out qualifying me whenever I try stuff as well. So,
Sam, he's got his new oNiD gloves on today.
Has he really?
Yeah, I delivered them to him last night.
Very good, very good. Was that at your pool night?
It was, yes. We had a pool night. I actually forgot to take him to pool night, so he nipped round mine on the way home, and I gave them to him. Yeah, I enjoy my break nights. I have a couple of times a week. I have a nice break, and Wednesday's my pool night, and I quite like it. I'm not very good, but big spin. Oof. Does well.
And just to be clear, that is you playing pool, not you all swimming in a pool, right?
No, that'd be a bit weird.
Yeah. Okay. Right, so UDOD remains on pole, but the gap is pretty close now. 25 thousandths the gap between UDOD and Grant. And then Giroud, Thieber and Parkin all a little bit further back. Then there's a bit of a chunky gap back to Conradi and Wacker. We've actually got Chowdhury yet to set a time. Is Chowdhury on a qualifying ban or no? Because they're out on track. So Chowdhury yet to set a time with only 1 minute 50 of the session left to go. So hopefully Omar is going to get a lap in this time around.
I do love the new Porsche.
I'm sorry, what words have just come out of your mouth?
So, not to drive it, because I couldn't think of anything worse. They first brought it in on the Cup car, just the back lights on the Porsche. That strip light it's got across the back, and the big wing.
Every Porsche looks the same!
No, I think the back end looks much nicer than the old one.
They all look the same.
They sound nice.
Yeah, they do sound nice, I'll give them that.
Yeah, they do.
I will give them that.
Nothing will beat the AMG sound, though, Adam, will it?
Yeah, that was one of my problems with Rennsport, was opening up, jumping in the AMG and just going, what is this sound?
Oh, there we go. That's a big lag spike. Very big. But he does get a lap in. He does. Omar does get a lap in.
Very good. A little bit concerned by these laggy moments, though. That's it's not looking great, is it?
No, it's a little bit concerning. You carry on. I'm going to dip into the admin chat and see what's going on. You carry on, sir.
Good. Whilst I mean, at least this is qualifying, so Johnny can go and have a look at that right now. The V12's pretty good hiker, but in real life, the AMG is just absolute dirt box. It really is. Mr. Bush, you're absolutely right. It's not just that, but the new curb noises are horrendous as well. Anyway, back to the track. UDOD is done. Grant is done. Giroud is done. Thieber is done. They're all in the pits. Parkin is out on the track, as is Conradi, Wacker, Seema, Dealerman, who we're watching right now is that Leathery Racing? That's an interesting name right there. But Dealerman trying to move up from 10th place at this moment in time in that Porsche. Now coming out down towards... so Parkin has put final lap in and stays 5th. No, I don't think it was an improved time. Still at 7/10 down. So Dealerman now through the chicane pin and heading into that final couple of corners. Final corner is always that one of, can you get through flat or not? Some cars you can, some cars you can't. But all we're seeing is just a laggy moment. But Dealerman now heading to the line. Is it going to be an improvement? Yes, it is. Quite the improvement, actually. About 0.3 better. Moves up to 7th. That shuffles Wacker back. And Wacker is done as well. So I think we've literally only got Caruana left out on track to finish a lap. So that's all we're waiting for to the end of this session.
Yeah, I just spoke to the admins, and they're going to keep a close eye on it during the 8-minute race. If it looks like it's going to cause some chaos, we may red flag the race.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens. Those ping spikes are pretty heavy. It's interesting because you know the thing that I mentioned that we're testing out for AMS2 that we believe is going to be quite a big step forward in solving that one. It's also something that we will be able to roll out to all other games on the platform as well, which we think should prevent any random server issues that can happen from time to time. So, yeah, this may be one of those what Thomas calls a noisy neighbour in an AWS server. At this point, I try and sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I don't. And no red flag yet, Lou51. Don't worry. We're just waiting to see if the lag issues settle down. Now we're into the 8-minute race. If it causes carnage in the 8-minute race, then we'll have to think about what to do with the main race. That's what we're saying, isn't it, Johnny?
Yes, that's exactly what we're saying. I've said to the guys that luckily we have this 8-minute warm-up race. If the lag is too much, obviously it can't be helped. These things happen. That the flag we will wave the red flag, and we will cancel this evening's race if needs be. Obviously, it's a last ditch. I haven't had to red flag many in my lifetime as oNiD boss, but we obviously have to do what's best for the drivers, and we don't want to ruin anyone's fun. And if lag causes that issue, then unfortunately this week will be cancelled. But we'll just see how these next 8 minutes go, and the admins will make a call on it, I'm sure. But we'll just keep an eye out for these things happening.
Yes. Sorry, I was just messaging to see if anyone was around to check what's going on. But of course, I always forget that poor Thomas and the dev team are 2 hours ahead of us, so it's almost 10:30 their time. So, Anyway, let's hope that things are a little bit more settled now we move into the race. So, very, very quickly before we get started, the reason why they do an 8-minute race before the points race of the night is so that these guys get used to the idea of running down into turn 1 together and practice a pit stop, because this is the amateur series that's all about learning. And in the meantime, we are about to go racing. It's green light and off we go, and that's a great start from I think that's Giroud, is it? No, that's Thieber going from 4th into 1st, and we have carnage into turn 1, and I think that is looking pretty tough at this moment in time. I assume there's even further carnage a little bit further back, Johnny, as well.
Yeah, a little bit, as quite a few places been dropped and a little bit of carnage. It just did seem, as they were coming together, that lag was causing the problems. We'll see it settle down. I'm in touch with the admins, so as soon as the red flag is, or if a red flag is waved, then we will find out.
That wasn't lag. That was just a little bit brave from Mr. Wacker, trying to go up the inside through the S's. I still can't drive through the S's there or see the S's without thinking of your mega Bentley crash and somebody telling you to hold the brakes, and you're like, I can't whilst I'm in the air.
Oh, yeah. I think it was a certain Mr. Stocks, wasn't it?
Yeah, hold your brakes. I'm in the air. Yeah, we did just see Remco Torn getting into a little tangle there as well, though. So it's difficult to know whether things are settled at the moment or not. I guess the admins are probably going to be looking back through the replay of Turn 1.
Oh, big moment for Remco. He's had a right old first lap of it.
Yeah, and what I was just saying is I guess the admins are going to be reviewing replays to see whether these incidents are caused by lag or whether they're being caused by drivers being idiots.
Well, I don't know if you can actually say that it's drivers being idiots if they can't judge. It's hard to judge a car that's lagging.
Well, that's what I mean. It's either lag or it's drivers causing these issues, and they're going to have to look at the replays and determine if this is lag that's causing it. Then we do have a problem. We've got Conradi is round as well, so Johnny's going to pick up a replay here. Looks like probably going to do it all by himself. Again, that car was lagging on its way into the corner. At least they've held their brakes there, and they're letting people flow through. So well done, that man, for doing so. You'll notice some cars are in the pits. Some of them still with damage, I'm sure, but others doing their mandatory practice pit stop. Wow, practice pit stop's hard to say.
A practice pit stop.
Practice, yeah. I almost said
practice what? A prick what?
But we pick up on Max Farrell in the Red Bull Drift Brothers car. Has anyone told him that's not the best way to get around a racetrack?
If you're Stevie Bain, I've seen him make it quite successfully drift around.
That's true. Dealerman picks up an SG30, so that must have been speeding in the pits, because you can see by the green block that they have been through the pits. So, that's another reason why it's good to have these practice pit stops in the 8-minute race, or as Heiko has just said, pit stop. Yeah, that'll do. Because it allows them to learn where the lines are and everything like that. Now, is this what I'm seeing? Is Sam Page on the podium at the moment?
He is, yeah, and he's there by. Obviously, some people have pitted, but he's there and making a good old stab of it. I'll tell you, he's going. That's
second, isn't it?
No, third.
Yeah, no, because Parkin's in the pits.
Yes, second.
No,
there you go, third.
Marker. You got past. It was a back marker.
There you go, third to Sam, but big lag moment. Big lag moment.
A bit overexcited then, thinking he was going up in second, but third is nothing to be sniffed at for Sam. I noticed, Sam, that in this season has now moved out of that beginner class.
He has. He actually won beginner class in July. He actually won the championship, and he did really good. He was solid throughout that month, and we commentated on and raced with him, in July and some of July's races, and was absolutely steady. And he's found the love for that racing stronger at Aston Martin. He's trying different cars here and there, but as I said to him last night, stick to the car that you're used to and you're comfortable in, and the results will come. And that's what's happened. Again, you think about when he first came in, Adam, a year and a bit ago. Never driven a sim in his life.
No, as we see a few more laggy moments there. Now, we mentioned about these practice pit stops being useful for the amateurs to learn where the lines are and to make sure they don't pit. Apparently, it's also useful for Alex Parkin, who's picked up an SG30, not an AM.
Sam's in first.
Good lad. Don't take your pit stop. Just carry on. Just crack on. Just do it. In case you're wondering, these 8-minute races aren't for points. They are literally just a practice.
Yeah.
But well done, Sam. Taking the lead here. Maybe we should adopt a British touring car style point system where you get a point for leading a race.
Get a point for every lap you lead.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, let's just do that for Sam.
Just for Sam. Just the rule of Sam.
Now, he is going to be the last person to pit, unless he decides not to pit, of course. Yeah, the only one left on track to pit. Remco, yes, Remco now goes green. So, yeah, just Sam left to pit. We've got 20 cars still going. So, I think we've lost 1 or 2 since the start.
No, 20 started, I believe. I'm sure 20 started.
21 earlier. But that may have been my eyes because I'm not wearing my glasses. So distinctly possible that that's me getting it wrong. So will Sam swing into the pits this time around?
Yes.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, good.
Sam
Good.
Pits.
Can it be the championship? That's a good. Try and say that.
Championship. Yep. You try again.
I can't say it.
Try it again.
No.
Try it again.
No.
Try it again.
Championship.
That was better. I'll give you that one.
Thanks.
I used to know somebody who couldn't say the word criminal.
Criminal?
Yeah, she used to say crinimal.
Yeah, somebody used to say aminal.
But then if you got her to say crim, she'd say, "Oh, we've got more important things going on here. There's been an incident. It's McLaren on Ferrari kind of job here." And the 2 sort of burnt orange cars head down into the chicane pin. Oh, 7 drops it by himself. Collected by the Ferrari. and then the McLaren just scarpers off. It's like, oh, sorry about that, but bye.
That's like something I'd do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, except you would have punted in the first place.
Hey, I was the punt-e on Tuesday night, I'll have you know.
You've misspelt punt. Anyway.
Very good.
Am I right in thinking that Sam Page is second? Or is he not?
No, he's dropped to 6th.
6th, okay. So
but he's in a battle he's coming between that spinning McLaren that we saw and the other McLaren behind him. So he's in a nice little battle there. So it could be on for a top 5.
Don't like these lags.
No.
They make me jittery. But Sam doing a top job here, and we'll be wishing that this one was for points. Oh, as he runs wide. So no, he doesn't want the point. Oh yes, he does. He's back on track. That was nicely handled. That, because that's one of those moments that could just see you fly off into the gravel.
He's certainly turned a page in his sim racing. Anyway,
Dexter Morgan's in chat as well.
Sam! Everyone got a yellow flag then. Everyone, it all flashed up on my screen, yellow flags.
That move, Sam, was Samage. The Sam version of Savage. Good. Okay. Hello, Dexter Morgan. Welcome to the chat.
Hola!
Crosses the line.
I've just instructed the guys that we may have to call this race.
Whoa! Where's that car going?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it does seem a little bit crazy full. Yeah. Yes, it's looking a little fruity, isn't it? And yeah, it's all very well and good when you've got a no points 8-minute fun race for practice. But when you then start putting things on the line for points, then it's a little bit more critical. So I think Johnny just off chatting with the admins for a moment whilst we figure this one out. But it may be that we call tonight's racing for an issue. It's a good try, Sam, but no. It's a very good try, though. Well done for that. And Hiker says, would you say it's a call for mercy? Yes, indeed. So You noticed that Win was in chat before the start of the race. Just informing the drivers that we would be looking at the server issue. Johnny just off chatting with those admins and figuring out how we handle things. We never like cancelling things or dealing with things like this, but sometimes you have to take difficult decisions. So they are just having a final chat on how to proceed with this one. And we will give you an update on that one very, very shortly. But nice to see cars around Zandvoort. We head to Zandvoort with Formula One next, of course. And can't wait for one day ACC to get Zandvoort updated to the Formula One version with all the banking. Be very, very exciting to see. Not just that, but also the updated Spa and a couple of other tracks with updates as well. Paul Ricard, Sam in chat saying it was from his POV. It was laggy everywhere. Yeah, Dexter just you're absolutely right that the majority of them will be absolutely fine. So certainly wouldn't be an overall issue. It can just be one server launches, and if it happens to launch in an AWS stack with another server that starts absolutely rinsing all of the resources of that server stack, that's what Thomas calls a noisy neighbor, and that is somewhat out of our control. But these things can happen every now and again. Matthew Caruana saying mine was okay, just saw some cars going sideways though. I think turn one will be one of the biggest concerns, of course. But then it's not just turn one, it's the rest of the race as well. When you've got two cars side by side, then it's a big risk. It's a big risk.
You'll see the message from Win that's just been posted. We're going to give it a lap and see.
Yeah. Okay. So, did we determine the turn one issues in the 8-minute race? Was that lag related, or was it?
It did look lag related, if I'm honest. They said there is issues. Some drivers have been saying there is issues. Obviously Sam reporting it there. So I've been one. I don't like calling races, but I do have to think about people's enjoyment. And for 60 or for 45 minutes, if there's a chance you can go side by side by someone and lag kills you, you're not going to get any enjoyment out of it.
Yeah,
I know.
I tend to agree with you.
I have said to them, give it a lap. First sign of issues, let's just call it. The guys can go off and practice or jump on our practice server and do a race between them. They're more than welcome to do that. Have a bit of fun with the coaches. Their night is not over. But as for the official race, we'll see how it goes. But I think we may have to call it, because I don't want anyone's race, or the guys are racing for championship points at the end of the day.
Yep.
And if this is their one series a week that they take part in and take pride in, then they don't want their chances of a good place finish ruined by some lag, which is nobody's fault. It just happens.
Absolutely, 100%. Well, let's see how it goes. But you tend to find that once you've got a dodgy server, then it remains a dodgy server.
Correct.
But I tell you what is also interesting is, and I don't mean this in any kind of derogatory way at all, but it's an AM series, but also with probably fair to say some of our newer admins as well.
Yes.
Who are learning things as well, and sometimes it's like, okay, just go for it, see what happens, and you know, they may be right, and let's give it a go and see what happens, because Johnny is not always the all-seeing eye, just most of the time.
No, and I'm happy to be proven wrong on times, but like you said, sometimes servers are servers.
Can we get that in writing?
Big lag spike on the grid as they were coming down, but here they are. Then they are going to start, and we are waiting to go green.
We are, and we do go green, and it'll be interesting to see if there's anything moving on the way down to turn 1. But right now, oNiD kind of leads them away into turn 1. And a little bit further back, it seems okay at this moment in time. And cars are managing to go side by side for the most part. But this is one of those things that could just snap at any time. But meanwhile, oNiD leads us away out front. Majority of cars getting through the first couple of corners fairly safely, and we do get racing. So it's oNiD, Giroud, Thaber, Grant, Dealerman, Parkin, Conradi, Wacker, Seema, and Russell is your top 10.
Yeah, yellow flag just come out for Cariana there. You see some issues. Sam threading his way through. Let's go and see what happened with that one.
Ooh. Yeah, there was a bit of a.
Ooh, that's not a place to send it.
That wasn't lag. That wasn't lag.
That absolutely wasn't lag. That's definitely not the place to send it. But you learn from these situations.
Yeah, there was lag just before we went to the replay, though, which was a little bit tricky to see. And a little bit more there as well, as we pick up on Thaber. Then in third, oNiD has got up and running straight away. We've got a yellow flag, which I think is back at the chicane pin. It's gone green now, so we've got a clear track. And we are up and running then. First lap complete. oNiD then 1.1 to the good out front. We see a battle there for fourth. Going down into T1. Let's see how that one worked out. It was a move made then by Sven Dealerman. Alex Parkin now looking to take advantage as well. The move on Grant. Oh, so we see Dealerman into the wall. So Dealerman, I think, just runs out wide onto the grass and spins it round all by themselves. Let's see, though. Yeah, absolutely. I think we've all done that there at some point in our lives.
Absolutely, yeah. Jenny? Absolutely, yeah. I'll usually do it at least once a race here at Zandvoort.
It's a tricky place to race. Alex Parkin, though, up in fifth. Merouani, then, we're watching, sat behind Sam Page. So Sam has had a good start again, up to ninth. So up into the top 10 and ahead of all of the beginner class cars, which is a good measure, considering he was in the beginner class last season. Merouani then with Farrell right behind in that Red Bull Drift machine, getting nice and close to each other on the brakes down into the chicane pin, and we're going to come around this left-hander now and blast out towards those final couple of corners. Josh Wicks picking up on the fact that Dan Page is flying up the order. Yes, he is. Always seems to make hay in the first couple of laps, does Sam, and then see whether he can hold on to it through the rest of the race. Sam immediately on the defensive as Merouani now looks to line up a move. So Sam holding that middle line very nicely. That's the approved Adam Ely tactic there.
And that's actually a sign of someone who has learned and is a bit more experienced now. Straight away out of the last corner, halfway down the straight, get into that defensive position. Make sure you're settled, ready for the corner. You know you're going to be safe defending and you're comfortable defending, and keeps the position. Didn't give the car behind that opportunity to get up the inside. Was instantaneous on it, and big lag spike. Everyone goes yellow. I think
they may have.
Called it.
We don't see that here, so I think race has been called. So interesting whilst we saw it, but yeah, in the interests of fairness, really, it's got to be called, doesn't it?
I think, it's not something they want to do, and it's nobody wants to do it. We don't want to do it, but you could see the lag was coming. There was issues, and like we say, we want to make sure everyone's enjoying themselves and not have a race ruined. I'm just waiting for an update from the drivers. I probably could get an update actually if I click there and we go to return to the garage on this one. And there you go, red flag, all cars stop. It's extremely unfortunate we've had to do this, but we apologise for the server lag. It was just causing too many incidents. So, and Win is the man that's in the steward inbox today. So he'll be getting them incidents firsthand and seeing that the lag is causing the issues, rather than it being issues with drivers. And Win has made it, in my opinion, what is a very sensible call.
Yeah, totally agree. It's what it is, I'm afraid. So I guess. Oh, Alex Parkin's come to join us.
Hello, Alex.
Hi.
Good call, I think, in the end.
Yeah, the pack strung out really quickly, and we're not quite sure if it's lag or Zandvoort related, but we had 13 incidents in a lap and a half, mostly caused by lag, so yeah, not worth carrying on for 40 odd minutes.
Yeah, I think that's sensible. And Win has just literally pointed out, you guys are going to go and jump in the practice server and you can continue racing around in the practice server. It's just that this one is not working at the minute.
Yeah, unfortunately. It's the best we can do, I think, tonight.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and I think it's only the third race, probably in oNiD history, that we've had to call, and we've been on SGP for 2.5 years and run hundreds of events, so very rarely we have to call because of server issues, but the right call in the end. It was definitely worth a go. It may have settled down, but unfortunately it hasn't this time around. But we'll be back next week, won't we?
Yeah, and I think just if I pop my SGP hat back on, then the team will take a look at the server logs first thing in the morning to understand what happened, what was going on, and then we'll be able to feed back to everyone what the issue was, and whether it's anything that we need to be concerned about. We know that we have had in the past, particularly on a Jimmy event, where there was something or someone trying to enter the server and started pinging the server like 10,000 times in a row. That is when you have like a DDoS style attack on a server. I doubt that's the case for an AMS race, so it's more likely to be a server issue, but this is why we get the dev team to check the server logs and be able to give feedback on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And from an oNiD point of view, the race is cancelled tonight. There'll be no points for this one. So when the server does finish later on tonight, the points will be removed. No one will receive any points for this race. And it won't be rescheduled. It will just be roll over into next week's race. So just unfortunately, this race has had to be cancelled tonight. But like I said, Adam, we want it to be fun, and we want everyone to enjoy it. And Alex, if you're still with us, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
As a driver, you know how annoying it can be and how unpredictable the car in front can be if it's got ping issues and lag issues, and it actually makes your racing 10 times harder than what it should be.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught what happened to me on turn 1, lap 1 of the practice race, but I got T-bird by me and the car next to lags back and sideways into each other, and that's what caused me to skewer across the grass onto turn 1 apex. So that's like the worst case scenario, I guess, in a proper race and not a warm-up.
Yeah, we've got some guys asking if the 8-minute race could count as points for this week. It's something we'll certainly...
I hope not.
It's something that we will look at as a team. I would think that no one will receive points for this week. So that's just unfortunately what it is. But Alex, are you going to go and join the guys in the practice server and continue racing?
No, I'm going to put my lad to bed as soon as I abandon him at bath time to try and race, but
Good man.
it wasn't to be.
Good man. I'm going to keep my lad abandoned, and I'm going to drag Johnny onto AMS2.
Oh no, you possibly couldn't do that.
Drag him kicking and screaming onto the new update.
Yeah. Oh no.
Come on then, you. Let's
Right.
leave these lovely people to their evening, and let's let Alex go and put a baby to bed.
Absolutely.
And I will continue ignoring my child.
Mate, it only gets better as the years go on. You just can keep ignoring and ignoring. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm just going to deal with the big child in my life now. Come on, Johnny.
I'm coming. Thank you, stream. Thanks for sticking with us. Sorry about the racing, guys. We will be back tomorrow night for the big Jimmy ACC launch. So please come and join us, and we will see you very, very soon.
Lovely stuff. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.